I am going to show you how I built a $100,000 per month business at 24 years old. Because if you're a fitness coach right now, you're in the most dangerous position in the history of this industry. Not because there's no opportunity, but because you're wasting the best window you'll ever get to actually take action. In 2025, online coaching is booming. But the reality is most fitness coaches won't see a dime of it. I know because just a few years ago, I was one of them. I had the skills, I had the passion, I had the knowledge, and yet when I started my journey as an online fitness coach, I lost money. Month after month, I was $7,000 in debt a couple months in. I was told there's no money in fitness. I almost started believing this and I almost gave it all up. What made it even worse is that I was watching less passionate, less experienced coaches make 10 times what I was making simply because they had become the type of person that clients were drawn to, while I was still trying to sell people on my credentials. Now, less than 3 years later, I make over $100,000 from fitness coaching per month without selling my soul and without getting burned out. So today, because I'm not a fan of gatekeeping, I'm handing you the complete playbook that I used to go from $0 to $1 million plus in 3 years for free. It's important to be clear. This turning point didn't happen overnight for me. It took long nights, long days, long weeks trying to figure it out, which is why I'm making this video. For anyone who is in the exact position that I was, because before I ever made a single dollar online, I was stuck in a life that had nothing to do with the career that I wanted and everything to do with just trying to survive. That's where this whole journey began. I used to work dead-end jobs. I was a bagger boy at a grocery store. I once worked construction where I almost destroyed my body multiple times. And I also worked as a technician at a manufacturing company under fluorescent lighting. And I would go days and weeks without even seeing the sun because I was in a warehouse. I would always be trying to do the bare minimum just to avoid being fired and collect a paycheck every 2 weeks. Every week, I could feel my spirit decaying just a little bit more. I would clock out, go home, and just exist. Day after day, I felt like my potential was just rotting away. There was no excitement for the future. Every week looked exactly the same, and it terrified me. It was a trap. It was a trap that a lot of people get stuck in. This is the type of thing that can kill your soul. I remember pretending like I needed to go to the bathroom to just get some time to myself on my phone so I could watch a TV show or scroll through social media. I watched year after year of my life slip away with nothing to show for it, feeling like I hadn't done anything substantial. My life had no purpose, no meaning. And what was the worst part? I hated how I looked. Physically, I wasn't where I wanted to be. Spiritually, I was empty. And every year reminded me that I was settling and it was killing me. I was passionate about fitness, but my reality didn't reflect that. I wasn't building anything that was going to give me freedom or purpose. Every winter, I was out of shape and I would put on a ton of body fat, using food to cope with my meaningless existence. I spent so much of my life telling others that getting in shape would help them so much, both mentally and physically, and yet I would find myself in a regular state of despair because I knew that I wasn't living up to my potential in every single aspect of life. Sure, I might have been hitting the gym every day, but I wasn't making progress where I needed to, which was to build something for myself. If you are working a job right now that has nothing to do with where you want to be in the next 5 years, you know exactly what this feels like. The mental drain that comes from using most of your energy on something that isn't your calling is suffocating. I remember one day when I was working as a technician in the warehouse under fluorescent lighting, I was listening to a podcast where the man speaking said, most people spend their lives as entrepreneurs instead of ever actually becoming an entrepreneur and taking the risk. At that point, it clicked in my head. And I thought, if I don't make a change right now, I am going to wake up 10 years from now in the exact same place. I have always been a very risk-averse person, but that day I knew that the bigger risk was staying exactly where I was. So I burned the ships, no plan B, no safety net, because the fear of regret outweighed the fear of failing. I decided to go all in on building my online fitness coaching business. This was a mental commitment at first. I didn't have all the answers, but I still decided that failure was not an option. I walked right up to my boss's desk and smacked my 2 weeks notice right down in front of him. This one decision changed everything. It gave me the ability to travel wherever I want and work from my phone and computer. No more trading hours for wages. I had control over my own schedule. I could structure my own day around what mattered most and around what I wanted to do. I cut out every vice that was holding me down: the alcohol, the parties, the mindless scrolling, the spending time around friends that sucked the soul out of me. My faith taught me that discipline is in freedom and sacrifice. And if I continued to sacrifice my vices on the altar, I would be gifted purpose. Taking this leap of faith gave me the ability to reach people way outside of my hometown in the middle of Montana. I could now help people all over the world. And I thought, if I become the type of person that other people want to follow, my income and impact are only limited by how much I am willing to transform myself. Yes, it's true. There are a lot of online coaches out there today, but most of them don't have depth, discipline, education, or passion to back it up, which is why 98% of fitness coaches fail within the first couple months of getting started. The space being competitive isn't a reason to avoid it. It's an opportunity for people who actually know their craft and who are willing to become a symbol others want to follow to exceed. Most people aren't willing to become a weapon. They won't transform themselves. They just post workouts and pray for clients. But making this decision was just the starting line. Without first becoming the type of person, a decision is just wishful thinking. So here's the first pillar of how I transformed myself into someone worth following, and it all starts with becoming a living symbol of what is possible. Pillar number one, you must become the symbol. The problem most people run into is they try to sell knowledge instead of selling themselves. I had all of this fitness knowledge, but I looked like every other coach out there. I wasn't memorable. I wasn't someone people dreamed of becoming. I was watching God give me potential and I was just wasting it. You're just another voice in the noise. You're not a symbol that can shake people out of mediocrity. There's a quote in Batman that says, average people need an extreme symbol to shake them out of apathy. I realized that I needed to become that symbol and live the lifestyle that matched it. You need to have a transformation mindset. You can't create transformations if you're not constantly transforming yourself. I stopped trying to be the smartest coach in the room and instead started becoming the coach that other people wanted to be. This meant living a lifestyle that reflected the discipline that I preached. When I walk into a room now, people know I'm serious about fitness before I ever open my mouth. My body is my business card. You need a personal turning point. I realized people don't buy coaching, they buy the person they want to become. The moment I stopped hiding behind certifications and started leading with my own transformation, my anti-vice lifestyle became my brand. No porn, no drinking, no smoking. My faith taught me that my body is a temple. When clients see the way that I started treating mine, they started treating theirs the same way. I used my physique to help build my fitness coaching business. I flexed so that other people want to look like me, and then I say, hey, come do what I do. This realization first hit me when I started paying attention to the people that I was super drawn to online. I realized that they had all done exactly what I wanted to do. Every time I eliminated a vice, I felt like I was coming more into congruence with what I was meant to do. I believe that your body is a temple, and your mind, body, and soul need to all be in congruence in order to live your best life. So I would flex my physique in order to get other people to wish for something better for themselves. You see, a lot of people look at flexing as being incredibly vain and arrogant. I don't see it that way. When I flex in front of people, when I make a video where I take off my shirt and transform from a fat, chubby guy into a jacked, good-looking guy, people see that transformation and want it for themselves. It inspires them to make a change. And a lot of the times, it's the kick in the ass that they need in order to get started. So why does this work so well for fitness coaches? Well, in fitness coaching, you are the product demonstration. If you are not in the best shape of your life, why should someone trust you to help get them into theirs? Your lifestyle choices become your marketing. Every workout, every meal, every decision is content. When you live a disciplined life, your brand writes itself. Now, when you start practicing this, there is an authority shift. When you become a symbol, you stop chasing clients and they start chasing you. I went from being another coach to being the guy people point to and say, I want to look like that guy. I want to live like that guy. Now, when I post a transformation photo, it's not just marketing, it's proof that I practice what I preach and that what I teach actually works. No longer was I stuck DMing other people asking if they're interested in fitness coaching. I had droves of people coming to me asking me to be the one to guide them. People would reach out to me and tell me that my transformation videos had changed their lives. They said that now they wanted to be like me and be in the best shape that they could possibly be in. Transformation photos became one of my best sales tools. This gave me a massive boost in confidence in my coaching and on sales calls. People would hang on my every word and they would come into the call with so much respect for who I was, ready to listen and ready to join. But becoming a symbol is just the foundation. Once people are drawn to you, you need to know how to connect with them emotionally, because logic doesn't create lasting change. Pain does. Which is why pillar number 2 is you must master the art of pain. When my first sales approach failed, I was 7 months in, barely scraping by, and literally banging my head against the shower wall. I would get on calls and ask people about their weight, their goals, their workout history, all surface level stuff. I was selling them features when I should have been addressing the pain. There have been points in my life where my existence felt so meaningless. I would have terrible sales call after terrible sales call because I didn't understand that logical questions don't create emotional buying decisions. When I figured out how to get someone emotionally involved and want their own transformation for themselves more than anything, my close rate went through the roof. I realized that I wasn't asking them to dive deeper. I went from asking, what are your goals, to tell me about how you feel when you look in the mirror every morning. I need to help them see exactly where they are so that I can make them have an incredible change. I need them to see that they're exactly where I was so that they can also make an incredible transformation. I still remember when this all clicked. I was messaging a friend of mine who was a great fitness coach and an amazing salesman. He told me to walk him through the questions I had been asking prospects on sales calls, and he looked at me like I was crazy. He said, don't you ever go deeper with them? Don't you want to know what got them onto this call with you right now? He told me their coaching application is a cry for help, and it's up to you to figure out exactly what they are so dissatisfied with in their life and with their physique. I had to put myself back into the position that I had been in years prior. Tell me about how fucking shitty you feel when you wake up in the morning and you don't like like what you see in the mirror. I would make them feel uncomfortable with staying the same. I would walk through asking them different questions and then read their emotional state. As the calls would go on, they would start to open up more and tell me about all of these other things going on in their lives that were contributing to their distress, both in their mind, in their body, and in their soul. I would avoid being aggressive or coming off as salesy because I would use their own state that they would tell me about as a mirror to reflect back on them how urgent the need for change was. I started to get calls where people would break down crying, telling me about how badly they wanted to change. You need to understand that inspiration is a form of currency. People will pay you to give them the push to do the things that they can't do by themselves. They will pay you so much just to give them inspiration to do what they already know they need to do. After I became a much better salesman, I started closing deals left and right. I made $10,000 in like 2 to 3 months, and my personal coaching business just pulled $101,224 last month. My first goal ever was just to replace what I had been making at my previous technician job that I quit. And I ended up making 3 times that in a month after only a year of running my fitness coaching business full time. Learning to understand psychology and the emotions behind selling allowed me to blow up my entire business. But emotional connection only works if you have something solid to back it up. The next pillar is about building systems so good that they sell themselves. Because when you have an incredible product, selling becomes effortless, which is why pillar 3 is building systems that sell themselves. There's a mindset shift. When you build out a really good system, it gives you a zeal to sell. The confidence that comes from knowing that you can actually deliver results and you have put hours, days, weeks, years of work into the program behind the paywall, it completely changes your zeal to sell. Your zeal to sell is something that people can feel on the sales call. You want the person's success more than they even want it for themselves. And you have such an incredible amount of confidence in what you have to offer. Putting so much more energy and effort into my systems and content behind the paywall completely changed the energy. Now, a lot of coaches struggle here because they don't want to put the thought and time into the back end, into the systems. But without systems, you are starting from scratch with every single client. The product that you build will speak for itself. And that is ultimately what will start to get you referrals. You have to start building your own delivery system. Create a comprehensive onboarding that has clear expectations. Build a content library that guides people through obstacles. Build a check-in system that keeps clients accountable. Having that level of systems built gives you confidence to move forward. Now that you've got the symbol, the emotional connection, and the systems, none of it matters if you can't lead. The next pillar is about developing the presence and authority that makes people actually listen to you when you speak. Pillar 4 is lead like a weapon. The reality of leadership is that if you were born a man, you were born a leader. If you are a coach, you are a leader of men. As a leader, you are going to have to kick people in the ass. It is part of your job. As a coach, you shouldn't be some wishy-washy, lovey best friend. They should look up to you. They should feel gravitas when you speak to them. There have been multiple times where I have had to be incredibly stern and upfront with clients and had to put them back in their place. Some people will say this is harsh and that you need to take a more loving approach. Being a loved coach doesn't get you great transformations. Being a respected coach is what gets you great transformations. There's an authority development process that you have to go through. You have to become someone greater than you are right now. And it's going to take a never-ending quest for self-development and more knowledge. You have to develop gravitas. When you say shit, People listen and it moves them. It convinces them to move. I have spent tens of thousands of dollars on my own education, having mentors pour into me. I've read dozens of books about how to speak and how to move people. I learned how to speak with gravitas by watching people that I respected so much speak to me. I took out filler words. I sharpened my vocabulary. I got better at controlling the tone of my voice. Now, like I talked about, I have a stern mentor approach. I need to be the stern person that keeps people in line when they want to fuck off. I am very much based around inspiration. Hey, I need you to move. There's a balance between an encouraging coach and no-nonsense leader. Continue to grow as a leader. Educate yourself on human psychology and human nature. Understand how to manipulate people in a positive manner. Never stop learning about leadership and how to motivate and move people. You need a weapon mindset. Most people aren't willing to become a weapon. They just post workouts and pray for clients. You need to become dangerous in every aspect. Coaching, sales, marketing, systems building, leadership. Being a weapon means that you've mastered all of the different skills. Most coaches stay mediocre because they don't continue to progress in the aspects that they are lacking in. There is always so much room for improvement when your business is based around improving yourself in every aspect. But here's the thing about becoming a weapon. You can't use your skills on everyone. The final pillar is about choosing the right battles, because the fastest way to burn out isn't working too hard, it's working with the wrong people. Pillar 5 is choosing your clients carefully. There's a shift in thinking that has to happen. I don't sell spots on my program, I award them. Every call is about finding someone I can actually mentor for real transformation. You don't want every lead who says yes. You only want the ones that are ready to change, the ones who can actually learn from you as an individual. We've all had that teacher in high school who, no matter how hard we paid attention while they were speaking, their lessons never made any sense. The same thing happens with coaches. Some coaches work better with specific people than others. If you find the right people to coach, you will notice that coaching them will actually give you more energy. You will have more zeal to go out there and find more people like them, because that coach to client relationship creates a fusion. When I started collecting the clients that I actually wanted to work with, and people were getting much better results because they were learning a lot better from me, my confidence and my energy skyrocketed. This is what makes your life easier. Why does this make your life easier? Early on, I said yes to everyone with a credit card, and it backfired. Refunds, ghosts, people who drained my energy and made me dread check-ins. That's not a business, it's a prison. Make the prospects qualify themselves to you. This maintains the proper frame for a coach to client relationship. Saying things like, this call isn't me trying to convince you. It's us figuring out if you're a good fit. It flips the dynamic, and now they are selling you on why you should let them into the program. And what happens when you start being selective about who you choose for your coaching? Well, I've got 100 clients that I currently work with. My personal fitness coaching business pulled in $100,000+ last month because I don't take on everyone. I just take on the right people. And when you only work with the right clients, everything changes. Your results get better, your stress goes down, your income grows without adding more hours, and that's where the business stops feeling like a grind and starts giving you the life that you actually wanted when you first started fitness coaching. When I started, every day felt like survival mode. I was juggling random jobs just to keep the lights on. Every client felt like a lifeline, and that desperation bled into every interaction. I'd wake up behind, chasing payments, chasing people, chasing a version of success I couldn't even see clearly. Now, I wake up and the day feels like mine. What is this all for otherwise? I choose exactly who I work with. I can coach someone in London in the morning, check in with a client in New York at lunch, and still have my evenings free. I train when I want, I travel when I want, and I spend my time with the people that really matter. I'm not telling you that to flex. I'm telling you because this is what is possible if you build your fitness coaching business the right way, in the right order, without burning out, without selling your soul, without wasting years trying to figure it out. Because the truth is, making these changes didn't just grow my business, it rebuilt my mental health. It sharpened my physical state and completely transformed the quality of the clients I work with, which is exactly why I have built Empire Blueprint, the same framework I use to take my business to $100,000 per month consistently, and the same one my clients are using right now to change their lives. If you want to skip the years that I've wasted and start stacking wins this month, apply in the link that you can find in the description. Fill out a quick form, and if you're a good fit, we'll walk you through the exact systems, templates, and scripts to make it happen. Just know, I don't take on everyone. This is for serious coaches who really want to build something real. If that's you, do it now, because a year from now, you'll either be exactly where you are today, or you'll look back on this moment as the day that everything changed.